know that. Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, Sarah, it is very exciting for you. I remember when you get the first, like, the idea of doing something like this, and then for us, it happened really quickly. Like, as soon as you hook up with something, and then you do your research, and before you know it, you're an expert in like all things van life, and then you know what you want, and then you get it, and you do your conversion, and then before you know it, 2 years has passed, and then you're sitting in the couch at home thinking, you know. But it's really, really exciting. It's a dream true, and I think everyone should try it at least once in their life. It's been one of the best things we've ever done, for sure.
Yeah. I just come up with another question. Of everyone who's travelled around Australia, where is your favourite place been? Like, where should I make sure that I go?
Oh, that is the hardest question.
Hard.
Yeah, you can't answer it. I would list, I don't know, a dozen places.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll start a new list.
Tassie is the best. Tassie is the best state for the most diversity. Tasmania for the
have to do
most diversity.
Yeah. I think you just
Magnetic
have to
Island is a community. Magnetic Island, wonderful.
Yeah.
Atherton Tablelands. At times a year, different things. Oh, if you go to 1770, that's where those midgies are. Don't be outside. just before dusk, they swarm. Yeah, midgies bad, 1770, but the most picturesque place in the country.
1770, is that the name of a place?
Yeah,
Agnes Waters.
Time traveling, it's a place.
Yeah, gorgeous. Yeah,
I think that was the year it was like 1770. It was the pioneer.
Captain Cook.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Southwest WA, from even just Perth to Albany or all the way to Esperance. That is such a beautiful corner. So everywhere, so many places though. Like really, every state there's something special. Exmouth,
Dunsborough.
Bit of road tripping in Western Australia, but heading from Kalbarri up I haven't done. Like I've been to Broome, but I haven't done between Broome and Kalbarri. So, and then above Kalbarri, is that where's Esperance?
Oh, that's
south.
Oh. Is that near is it Denmark and
east? Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Ah. Okay, more across.
You're from Geelong?
Yeah, I'm from Geelong, but I did live in Fremantle for a while.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Awesome. Wow. Yeah.
So, so much to do. More places? Like where in New South Wales, maybe?
Dorrigo.
Batemans Bay.
Ballingen, I like Ballingen.
Yeah, Ballingen.
Ballingen's the new Byron. It's, Byron, Northern used to be nice, but it's not anymore. But there's a great camp spot out at Thora, outside of Ballingen. Thora, Thora. Crystal clear rivers and creeks out there, beautiful rainforests. Explore, and there's some wonderful communities out there that you can camp on their places. There's a lot of commune type people. So Ballingen's a definite. The council's horrific nowadays, like most of New South Wales, but that free camp out at Thora, is good.
Amy and Sarah, were you saying some place that starts with D? Something?
Dorrigo. Dorrigo. Dorrigo.
IGEO. Okay.
That in the Highlands? Like, is that up in the Alps?
No, it's close, isn't it? Or closer to.
Yeah. To what? Sorry.
Closer to the coast, Dorrigo, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not too far inland. That's where there's a thing called like Waterfall Way, and there's just like a string of waterfalls, and it's like rainforests, and it's gorgeous.
I do like rainforests. Watch out for the ticks, though. That's what caused my illness, was a tick.
Don't talk to me about ticks.
2 weeks after the tick, I went. 2 weeks after my tick bite, bullseye rash, everything. I was down and bedridden for the year. That's how I lost everything, was the tick bite. That was the Sunshine Coast hinterland.
Is that connected to your Lyme disease? Because I know that ticks and That's interesting because apparently officially we don't have tick-borne Lyme disease in Australia, but you would say otherwise.
I was one of the Senate inquiry people that wrote our story for it. So we're not supposed to call it Lyme's disease in Australia. I just call it tick sick. I'm tick sick.
I had a question.
I was going to suggest another place to go is the Snowy Mountains. It's very beautiful up there.
Yeah.
And there's campgrounds, like free campgrounds with no time limits, like all over there, and they're gorgeous. Lovely men, spectacular. And then another place, Narooma and Bermagui, that entire area, also heaps of free places to stay with no time limits.
What?
Bermagui.
How do I spell it?
Eernamagui. I think Bermagui.
We have some such weird places in Australia.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, there are some crazy places, the names, you laugh. I would really recommend, I don't know if you've been to South Australia much, but the Fleurieu Peninsula. There's so many beautiful spots, and you can camp on, what's the name of that beach? Semaphore. Yeah, so the last place that we were in Adelaide before we sort of legged it home, because we'd sort of done that little stretch before. But I don't know if anyone's familiar with Semaphore Beach. Anyone?
I've been to South Australia.
Really? Okay, so yes, Semaphore, we've stayed there heaps of times because we sort of did 2 laps, a little small one and then a big one on the outside. But every time we went there, there's people that have lived, it's just a car park
Right on the beach.
Right on the beach. It's the water, sand, grass, and the car park. And people have lived there for over a decade. And there's signs that say no camping, but every single night we've been there for weeks. There's people that have been there for years, people that have been there for months, big buses, small rigs, medium, large.
And it's just 20 minutes into Adelaide City, but you don't feel like you're in the city. It's just a cute old town right on the beach. Yeah. And wiki camps, if you look it up, it will say that you can't camp there, but
everyone we sleep in, like we're massive.
Everyone will tell you otherwise.
We sleep in and we didn't see anyone there, and we were there for weeks. And then, people have been there for years and it's been fine. So if you're ever in the Adelaide area, Semaphore.
Cool.
And when you say sleep in, is that like a 9 a.m., 10 a.m. sleep in, or is that like a
2 p.m.
around
3 p.m.
around the clock? You could literally be there around the clock and no one. People literally, every night there'll be another 20 vans and you can just stay there around the clock.
Like every night. Yeah, it's
they
you
really
don't even know. You don't even need to think about, like, in our experience when we're there, like if you only get there in 6 months' time or a year's time, then maybe things have changed. But
we were there times of the year. And both times easy. So
you could go to sleep knowing I'm sweet. I can sleep until like 5 p.m. if I want to.
And of course, it's lovely where I am. Up here in Warburton, it's gorgeous. We get snow on the hill and there's spring water up there, and the redwood forest, and there's some lovely camp spots around here. So the valley's gorgeous in the upper Yarra.
Yeah, Warburton's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
There's upset I haven't got my bike for the autumn photography because I'm an artist. I do painting, so I'm pretty upset I've missed the autumn colours.
Oh yeah. There's one other concern that I have, and that is I really feel the cold. Like living in Victoria, I don't even go swimming in the ocean here because that's too cold. So when you say, snowy mountains, I think snow, I'm going to be freezing cold. Like, how do you keep warm in your van? Like, do you have a fireplace?
You don't. No, I'm just kidding.
I have a wood fire. I'm very
I'll come and sit on your couch.
I cook on my wood fire. I've cooked on a wood fire for over 10 years. It's the 1886 model Queenie. It's from a horse-drawn Vado, so pretty cozy. And I've seen the wood fires being put into other vans. You can buy little pellet heaters now out of China that are small, and all you got to do is have the fluid in the and cut a hole. So yeah, a lot of vans have a fire in them.
Yeah.
Got to have leaking air for not so you don't get carbon monoxide poisoning. Got to have a lot of leaks.
What were you going to say, Gary?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just going to say I just drive north.
Yeah.
Like it's cold, I drive north. It's warm in the north.
Yeah.
See, Anna and Blake know where it's at, right?
I know, look at them in their t-shirts.
I
Yeah,
only recommend going to the snowy mountains in the summer. It's beautiful, it's warm, you can swim in the lakes. The lakes are the water is quite cold, but because the air is so hot, it's refreshing. I really hate the cold as well. In the winter, the snowy mountains are absolutely horrible because they're full of humans. The prices like triple for everything. And yeah, it's terrible. It's crowded and it's cold and it's just awful. But every summer, it becomes spectacular and gorgeous and green and warm, and that's when I go there.
No.
Amy and Sarah. Or Amy?
I was just gonna say, Sarah, are you thinking of doing a trip in a van or moving into a van to live?
A bit of both. So usually, like with my business, I've only just been doing events in Victoria, but because I want to move around and I want to start doing some events in like Sydney and Brisbane, I thought I can sort of plan big events 3 months apart or something, and then I can travel up to the event and sort of enjoy the scenery on the way, do the event, and then keep moving up to the next place and then like come back down. So I would probably try to plan it with the seasons, but
yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that's all I was going to say is just like if it's just like a trip, like you're just going to get a van and do a 6 months, a year and a half, whatever it is going to be, definitely like do the seasons, just follow the seasons, because why make it any more like uncomfortable than it needs to be. I can't imagine being in the south in the winter and being in, unless you want to, unless you like get a fireplace, which is the best. Yeah, if you can, living the dream down here. Or maybe she's up there on your screen, but
down there.
Yeah, definitely pick your times. I got the worst of both, so I freezed my ass off in Victoria, particularly and South Australia. Beach just before Beachport. I can't remember the town, but like it was like -3. I couldn't sleep at all because I was like just so cold. I couldn't wait for the sun to get up so I could go. And then the opposite, I left Darwin to start the second leg, probably 3 weeks too late, and I was literally being chased by the humidity, which finally caught up to me in about Fitzroy Crossing, which was like mid-40s, 100% humidity. Kill me now. Like, yeah. I ended up getting rescued in about 120 k's out of Broome because I started hallucinating from heat.
God, I think it takes a certain person. Good on you.
Yeah, I didn't want to get rescued, but they insisted. So,
You had a comment?
Hey, I want to ask, what sort of events do you do, Sarah?
It's very similar to social club events or singles events, just opportunities for people to be social, and if they're single, it's a fun way to meet people as opposed to swiping.
So not seasonal, because like when I follow the show circuit, that's a seasonal thing because it follows the weather. The show crawls north and the show crawls south. So the festivals and everything, the circuses, everything's on that same circuit. It goes around the weather. So that when I used to do twice a year, north and south, and it was almost always the same for me. You know, high 20s. I'd be in the far north, still 20s, and then down in the far south. So yeah, you can avoid the cold, but colour's nice in the south. All the colours pretty.
Yeah.
Snow's pretty.
I'll just
Not far from you in Dalesford, sometimes Wombat Hill gets snow on it. It's pretty.
Yeah. Well, any more questions?
No, we don't have any. Do you have a question? Do I have a question? Not really. No, it's been fun though.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I know we've been talking for like 2.5 hours. It's a great topic, eh?
Yeah.
Anna.
Yes, I just thought of a question. Has anyone tried, because we don't have like an aircon in the van, has anyone tried those little evaporative coolers that they sell inexpensively? Do they work?
Yeah.
No, we haven't. Oh, sorry.
I did.
Yep, Gypsy, did you want to?
I did. They're nice. They're small. Make a mess. Water goes everywhere. And yeah, they're 12 volts. So
Do they work?
It was hard to balance it, get it level, dribbled water everywhere, but
We saw one. We've personally never used one, but at Christmas time we had a mate that had one, and I'd never seen one before, and he showed us how it worked, and like the air that was coming out was cold, and it seemed awesome.
He said it was great.
We've never done it. So
Gary, you got something to add?
Like they're evaporative coolers. They work on like water evaporating, like takes energy to do that. So if the climate is really dry, they work really well. And you can put ice in them, ice water in them, so that makes it cold. But if the climate is really humid, like far north Queensland, they won't do anything. They just make the humidity worse. Yeah, I mean they're a good thing. I don't have one. I've got like this Coleman. Can you see that? Yeah, like Coleman fan from Aldi, but I don't use it much. It's kind of
Yeah, we also have a Coleman fan as well, but we were looking to find something that made it just a little bit more cooler, especially on the really hot nights where it's like you basically in your underwear because it's that hot, you're just sticky.
Yeah.
Damp sarong. I use a damp sarong.
I do that
Been
too.
my cooling method forever.
Sorry, what is it?
A damp sarong.
Oh, damp sarong. Sorry.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I end up doing the same. I end up wetting my. I've got a special cooling towel that holds the moisture longer.
Oh, and the best thing, the spray bottles. You know
I
those
use that all the time.
garden spray bottles that you pump up from Bunnings? Yes, mist. Yeah, I've got one of those. Yep, the garden spray bottle. I've got the smallest size, and you put water, and you just constantly stay damp.
Except when it's 100% humidity, and then it doesn't do anything.
Oh, it's still better than the humidity.
And what about for the heating? Like, is there any kind of like tiny compact heater? Obviously, you've got a wood heater, but does anybody have any kind of tiny compact heater that's really good?
another person.
That works.
On that, how are you guys still talking?
Yeah, we've been talking for 26 years, so we're used to it.
Gary, did you have a comment about the heater?
Yeah, just you can get diesel heaters. So the diesel tank is outside the van. The diesel is burnt outside the van, and there's like a heat exchanger. Like the diesel heats up by this ceramic plate, and then you blow air across the ceramic plate, so the hot air is inside the van, and the diesel and the flame is outside the van. To buy them, you can get Chinese-made ones for like $250. You can get German-made ones. They're like $800. And then there's a cost of installing them, but they're super awesome. Like if it's cold, They're not as good as Gypsy's wood fire, but yeah, they are really good.
Yeah.
We were thinking as like an alternative for a heater, we could probably just get a hairdryer and just set it on high and just like hug it for the rest of the.
Yeah, hot water bottles.
Hot water bottle. Yeah.
Hot water bottles.
I last year I went to Queensland near Noosa, but I was in a valley, and this was in about June, July, because I thought, oh, I'm going to go up to Queensland, escape the Victorian winter, and I'll be nice and warm. It was freezing there. I didn't have a beanie or appropriate warm clothes, but there was a spare toaster, and so in the room I'd put the toaster on to warm up the room because I didn't have anything else to warm me up, and it kind of worked. It took the chill out, but I don't know how like energy efficient or I don't know how economical that is.
Oh my God. I think hot water bottle is probably your best bet. You can just fill your kettle and then keep that with you all night. That's probably, if you're by yourself especially, that's probably the most cost efficient.
Oh, I have a dog and a cat. They both sleep on me. The cat actually, when she's cold, lies right on me and sleeps right on me. And she does massages as well. She's a good weight and she does massages. So.
Like when they do this thing.
Yep.
For me, it was thermals and was it -3, I think? -3 sleeping bag. So most of the time I was probably too warm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I found thermals get real stinky. They don't work well. They really stink.
And
they can after a while.
Well, Gary, if you want to share your van with someone, they're not going to want to come in if it stinks.
Yeah, no, I don't have thermals. I just go north. I just look on the map where the weather is nice and go there. Like the last time I was in Geelong was when that massive heat wave was. I think that was last summer.
I was there then.
Were you? Yeah. Or was it the summer before? I don't know. I forget. But
there's a really nasty one recently.
Yeah, it was like ridiculous everywhere, but it was beautiful on the southern coast. And similarly in wintertime, far north Queensland or the north of Australia is just beautiful at that time of year.
Yeah.
All right, dear. Just keep following the weather.
Yeah, endless summer.
Yeah, there's a movie about that.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got it together, those guys. I tell you what.
Very good. Well, I'm not going to summarize all my notes. I'll just say thank you for sharing. I don't know if anyone wants to just like finish off with, I don't know, share something that you learnt or one last comment, and then we might go to bed or just sign off. I don't know what you want to do, but
I do Netflix.
Okay.
Netflix is what I do in the night. I'm awake and asleep all night long.
Yeah.
And I've let the fire go out. It was too hot in here.
Wow.
I got both my kids are snoring.
Thank you to everyone. It's lovely to meet you all. And just see some other humans. It's good. Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Well, if you're ever by my place, stop in and say hello. I'm pretty easy to identify.
Yeah. I'll say hello. We met online. You won't remember me.
That's right. Everyone has to say where, when. That I need context. Everyone has to say where, when, whatever, and then I'm good.
Oh, Gypsy, you can do a plug for your business if you want to, because I'll put this video online. So if you want to invite people to come and
I downloaded Zoom a couple of weeks ago because I was looking at doing an online tea leaf reading workshop. So if any of you would like to learn how to read anything, I advertise it as how to read clouds, tea leaves, coffee grinds, entrails of your slaughtered enemies, anything. It's science-based because basically I use psychology, but it teaches how to read anything. So, yeah, if anyone wants to come and do a workshop, find me on Facebook.
Do they look for on Facebook?
Yeah, just my first name's Gypsy, my last name's Love. It's just my personal one, but when I'm going to run workshops, it'll be on I'll pop it in a post as an event. I also read palms, and that's what I'm mainly known for.
So what's everyone's handles and stuff? Like, yeah, if I got I'll find you on Facebook. Does anyone else have an Instagram or a Facebook page or a business thing?
We're just
I'm gonna come up with one for when I've got the whole van thing happening. I don't know if there's going to be any van ones left.
Yeah.
What was yours? What's yours again?
Maybe it's easy if you type it in.
Oh,
yeah. Chat thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone can
Type it in the chat.
In that way,
Yeah.
we won't get any spelling errors.
Oh, wait.
And my last name's Love too, which is a nice, easy one to remember to find me.
Is that it? I think.
That's a really cool name, by the way. That's like the best name ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I always say I got the last part off the ex-husband, not the attribute, just the surname.
Wow, that's so cool.
And Michael, you've got an Instagram as well for your bike riding around Australia?
Yeah, so Insta and Facebook are the same, even though Facebook doesn't use a hashtag. But so just if you look up I am Michael Willem.
I'm going to type it in the chat. So I've got like the...
How do I do that on a phone?
And
on the phone. I'm not sure. I don't know what mine is going to be, but my business one, which I do events like this now, like virtual events, just bringing people together, but also offline events is how I started, is Mojo Mingle. So you can
cool. Oh, okay.
Facebook and Instagram. And yeah, I'll have to come up with some creative van hashtag and handle for Instagram when I travel.
Yeah, for sure. Can't wait to see that. It's super exciting for you.
Yeah,
it really is.
Cool. All right, I've taken a screenshot of all those so I don't lose them. Well, I don't really want to say goodbye, but I think that we've had like how long now? 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, toilet time for me.
Yeah.
Time for me to go.
Is that time for me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you all for coming out and sharing your knowledge. Lovely to meet you all. And yeah, I mean, I think because you bought a ticket, you're on like the subscriber list for Mojo Mingle, so you can take yourself off the list if you want, or have a look at the other virtual events that I do.
Cool.
I'm just making new ones all the time. So that people don't.
I'll leave them on there, and if I get my tea leaf reading sorted out, come to tea leaf reading.
Yeah,
it's a fun one.
Okay. Cool. Excellent. All right. Well,
okay.
You can just
see you guys.
End meeting if you want to leave or exit meeting or something.
I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna get to bed. Nice guys. Nice meeting you all.
Nice to meet you all.
See you, Gypsy.
Off it though.
Awesome.
I've no idea how you do that.
Wonder if I can do it for you.
Yeah. Say goodbye. Bye bye.
I can put you in the waiting room.
Oh.